memories. Do we really have anything without them? This collab is a collaboration with the whole soap making community, and the theme was memories. We were supposed to pick a memory and create a soap based on that memory. The memory I chose is based on when my husband and I very first started being interested in each other back in 2010. We were both attending the same Bible college in Van Cleve, Kentucky, called Kentucky Mountain Bible College. One of the most famous beverages in Kentucky is called Ale 8-1. It is basically just a ginger ale, a very sweet ginger ale, and it is created in Kentucky. So at the college we were attending, drinking Ale 8 was very popular. Everybody drank it. It was available often. Here is a bottle of it. You can only get this in Iowa at Cracker Barrel, and even then there's only like 5 bottles available at a time. It's very hard to get it here. I think you can get this pretty readily in neighboring states of Kentucky, but not here in Iowa. And we see here, Ale 8-1 Bottling Company, Winchester, Kentucky. If any of you had already seen my video talking about how I met my husband, you will know that Aaron and I were slightly rebellious at this college because it was an extremely strict Bible college, especially when it came to boys and girls interacting in any way. I'm going to go ahead and add our fragrance and part of our colorant. I'm going to color some more later. The colorant is green kiwi. The fragrance I'm using is coconut lime verbena. And in here I've also got some pumice powder, which is volcanic rock. And it's supposed to be a very gentle exfoliant for sensitive skin. And I haven't used it before, so this will be my first soap with pumice powder. Ooh, pretty. Whoa, isn't that something? Wow. If any of you have seen Harry Potter, it's like the pensive when they go into the memories. One evening, Aaron asked me, "Have you ever broken glass bottles against a cement wall?" And I said, "No, I have not. I've never done such a thing." And so then he asked me, "Well, would you like to?" And I thought, we'll probably get in trouble, but I sort of don't care because I like Aaron a lot. So I said yes. So we went to a part of the campus that is pretty empty in the evenings. It was like this small cement tunnel that goes under a building. And we brought with us 6 or 7 Ale 8 bottles. And at this time, we weren't really dating yet, but we were both obviously really interested in each other. Just nothing official had happened yet. I'm going to strain my lye water because there's like little bits in it that usually doesn't happen, but there are little bits in my lye water. So we smashed some Ale 8 bottles against a cement wall, and it was, I have to tell you, an extremely fun activity. If you can legally do this and you clean up your mess afterwards, I highly recommend it. One of the special ingredients extra that I'm adding to this is some Ale 8, which is why I have the bottle. I'm sort of concerned about acceleration because there's quite a bit of sugar in Ale 8. So here's our Ale 8. Let's hope everything goes okay. Let's see how we're doing. It's kind of thick already. Okay. Now I'm going to pour some into here to add a different green. We are thickening up a lot. Here is our mold. Oh my goodness. Okay. Pouring from high up. And we're just going to swirl with a stick. I'm going to scrape my buckets. Now, one of the requirements of this collaboration was to make your own embed, and I made the state of Kentucky. So let's shove these in here before my soap gets any harder. It accelerated big time. I have a little bit of blue in my little Kentuckies because Kentucky bluegrass. And then on top of that, I made little Ale8 bottle caps. Now if you stay longer than the cut at the end of the video, I'll show you how I make all of these. And just kind of put it in here as an extra bit of decoration. Alright, and then over here I'm just going to add some and make them their own bars. This is hard soap. Here is my memory soap. Stick around for the cut. I think it'll be fun. Here we are tomorrow, which is November 29th. I am cutting it close to the deadline of December 1st. Alright, so I experienced quite a bit of acceleration, and one of the culprits of that acceleration, besides the high sugar Ale8 soda pop, is that pumice powder, which I want to visit about with you today. First we'll cut our little edge off here. The green is to represent the green bottle. I like it so far. Pumice, I believe I mentioned this when I was making the soap, is a volcanic rock that is highly vesicular. Vesicular means it is pitted with many cavities or holes, so it kind of looks like a sponge. Alright, here we go. Our first bar, which I am going to trim on the sides because this bar is huge. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm going to trim this to the edge, and I'm going to trim this to make it a more reasonably sized bar. Look, Aaron.
That's beautiful.
This is a huge bar of soap.
Yes, it is. It's a man-sized bar.
It is a man-sized bar. Pumice is created when superheated and highly pressurized rock is violently ejected from a volcano. And this explains why there are so many holes in the rock. Because of simultaneous rapid cooling and rapid depressurization, creating all those little holes. Pumice has been used for centuries in bath and beauty industry and the construction industry, as well as early medicine. But we're going to talk about the beauty industry here. The ancient Egyptians used pumice stones to remove body hair. Ancient Romans used pumice powder to whiten their teeth and remove dead skin. Ancient Chinese used pumice stones to groom their nails and remove calluses. Let's scoot back a little bit. Today, many of these techniques are still used. Pumice is widely used as an exfoliant, which is what we used it today for. Pumice stones are still used in salons during the pedicure process. Finely ground pumice has been added to toothpastes as a polish similar to the Romans because it easily removes dental plaque. But that toothpaste is not a daily use toothpaste. And even some brands of chinchilla dust baths are formulated with pumice. Woo, that was close. So there you go. What more do you want to know about pumice? The pumice I'm using is very finely ground, so this is an extremely light exfoliant in this soap. It's nothing harsh or abrasive. It smells really, really good. I usually always forget to talk about how my soaps smell. I don't know why that is. I think because I'm so much more focused on what they look like than what they smell like. But this smells very good. Coconut lime verbena. It smells like a fresh vacation. As I mentioned, if you can legally and safely and responsibly find a place to smash glass bottles against a brick or cement wall or something, it is a huge stress reliever and it's extremely fun. You might not believe me, but if you try it, you'll be like, whoa, Shauna was right. And I would love to do it again. Aaron and I have only ever done that 2 times, and both times is when we were dating. I actually have some bottles saved up for if we ever find the opportunity to do that again. But you can't just go somewhere and start breaking glass bottles, because that's kind of a hooligan thing to do. And none of us want to be considered hooligans, right? It was just one of those moments that really increased the interest of Aaron. He's a very unique person to me, to the kind of people that I've known my whole life. That was one reason why I liked him so much, because he was very different from other people. So this is going to be the whole bar. I'm going to trim up the sides, of course, but it's going to be a nice big bar like this, which will shrink a little bit. A nice big Kentucky soap bar that'll last you a while. So I saved the mold creating and the embed creating for the end of the video, because maybe not everybody's interested in that tedious process, although I have it pretty well edited down so it's not like a long drawn out thing where you're getting bored. But I saved it for the end because most people just want to see your soap. How does it look at the end? So if you're interested in watching me putting together the little Ale8 bottle caps and creating my Kentucky shaped silicone soap mold, then stick around for after the cut. The reason why my collaboration soap, I waited until almost literally the last minute. Well, first of all, I had a really hard time coming up with a memory. Got a lot of memories, but which ones like stick out to me? And Aaron, my cute, funny husband, who has a lot of really good ideas, said, what about when we used to smash Ale8 bottles? And I was like, that's an amazing idea. And then I had to think, well, how am I going to do that? So I thought putting Ale8 in the soap as my sugar portion adds that bit of interest to the soap. And then on top of that, I, for the first time, had Thanksgiving at my house. My in-laws came in from Indiana on Thanksgiving Day, and we celebrated Thanksgiving on Friday, the 27th, and then they headed home yesterday, the 28th, which is when I hurried up and mixed together some soap. Happy December, everybody. Can you believe it? I know for a lot of people they didn't like this year. For me, this year wasn't too bad. Not really talking about the rest of the world and all the struggles that the world has had this year. But for me, personally, this year wasn't too bad. I don't like to base my happiness and contentment off of everybody else's happiness and contentment, because then we're just all going to be very unhappy. So I might be one of the few who haven't ever used soap dough. I quickly whipped up this 1 pound batch. I probably made too much. That's okay. You know how I feel about too much soap. So now I play with this until it's like Play-Doh. This is just my regular soap recipe that I always use. There's nothing special in this soap. It's just oils and lye and fragrance. I used red ginger saffron as my fragrance because I'm going to be making Ale8 bottle caps. And Ale8 has ginger in it. Boy, that's pretty sticky. I don't remember what you can use if it's sticky. Isn't there something you can use so it's not so sticky? But I'll be right back when I get the bottle cap sculpting down. So it's cornstarch, I learned, is what I need. Got my cornstarch, and it helped big time. Here is my bottle cap I am modeling after. I'm going to be making some red soap dough soon. Right now I haven't done that at all. So it's a gray bottle cap. Got my gray soap dough. So I make it a ball, and then I kind of smush it to a disc. Then I take this skinny popsicle stick and just kind of bend down the sides. And I want the lines to show up, but I'm not being too like this has to look exactly like the bottle cap. I'm just getting an idea, because the main thing is going to be it saying Ale8 on the top. Okay? So I'm going to make these for a long time. Alright, I've done a few already of my bottle caps. Got a needle. Scratch it real good. Then I've got here mica with rubbing alcohol. And I just paint it to get it wet, and the mica is to help it shine like a bottle cap. Then here we've got some soap dough. I wanted it to be a little bit redder, but it's okay. I'm satisfied with it. And I roll it. I've got mica in my fingernail. My fingernail's not dirty, by the way. It's silver mica. So now we're making the letter A. Make what kind of appears to look like a letter A. Kind of has a little swoosh in it. And then once I get it on here, I kind of shape it a little bit more. Not really looking for perfection, but looking for the fact that you can tell what I'm trying to do. There's a little bit too much soap on this A. So I pinch it off with the tweezers. Then one of those little tiny pieces of soap, roll it into a ball, and just drop it to make the little line in a capital A. So we've got our A. Let's make an L. Roll it really thin. And we've got our L. And just set it where it belongs. Now we make the E. Soap dough really isn't near as intimidating as I was expecting it to be. Now the number 8. I want it to go around my finger like that. Twist it to make an 8. If you look closely at the bottle cap, not only is there an 8, but there's a tiny little 1 right next to it because the soda is literally called Ale 8-1. Most people call it Ale 8, but its full name is Ale 8-1. Okay, and that's how we make them. Takes a long time. I'm happy with them. They're looking good enough to me. I'm going to attempt to make a silicone mold with this Kentucky cookie cutter. You're probably like, how are you supposed to make a mold out of something with holes on 2 sides? I'm going to try to solve that with melt and pour. This is leftover from when I was doing my Weather the Weather soap. I'm going to pour some in here. Try to get a seal. I think I need some more. You guys are probably like, Shauna, there's a way better way to do this, but I don't know what it is. So I'll wait for that to cool and then I'll start working on the silicone mixture. This is the brand that I chose off of Amazon to try out. It's a 1:1 ratio. These each have approximately 10 ounces in them. And I'm going to take 5 ounces out of each of them for my mold. And it says I need to stir for about 5 minutes. So let's try to get 5 ounces. That was A. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I stir for 5 minutes. I sure hope this works. All right, and then now I leave it for 12 hours, it says, before I try to take it out of there. Alrighty, everybody, moment of truth. Looks like it sorta got under my stencil cookie cutter. It's okay. This is looking like a success. Sweet. Okay, so I will show you, I actually already made 3 of these, but I'll show you how easy it is to unmold with this silicone mold. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I was pretty skeptical because I've never done such a thing. There's our state of Kentucky. Thanks, Aaron.